The cats love laying on my lap anytime, but especially at night, Kepler. I mean, Kepler loves being on my lap at night, especially if I have to stay up later and Mal goes to bed and I'm still up working on stuff. Kepler just really loves laying on my lap. By the way, hello and welcome to Thursday. Just finished recording a game about pooping on people. It's not as vulgar as it sounds. It's a comedy game. There's a game released a while back called Muddy Heights. They made a sequel to it. You poop off a building, and you can control the poop and hit people. I don't know why I mentioned that. Anyway, this evening, we actually went over to my parents' house because there was a deal for T-Mobile recently, and probably a lot of carriers, where you could actually trade in your old iPhone to get the iPhone 7. And I had no interest in this personally. I got the 6S last year, and that was a big step up from the 5. And I like my phone. Don't really need a new phone. The trade-in was free for most phones, and then depending on the memory or the plus size or whatever, it would cost a little bit extra. But one of the cool things was that it actually let you trade in some older model phones. It let you trade in the iPhone 5. There was a little bit you had to pay, but it really wasn't that much, considering that the fact that the iPhone 5 is like 4 generations old now. It was very, very inexpensive. So we actually did that for my parents, because I have the 6S Plus, and Mal has the 6 Plus, but my parents still have the 5s. And they still enjoy their phones, but this was something I saw when I was like, man, this is going to be the last opportunity for them to trade in these phones and upgrade to something more recent. And for this deal. So we didn't even tell them we were doing it. We just went into T-Mobile and talked to them, and then I came home the other night, and I was like, pick a color. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, gold, black, jet black, silver, rose gold, pick a color. And then I explained to them that they were getting new phones. But it would have been crazy to pass it up. Like, absolutely absurd to pass it up. The phones shipped pretty quick. They said they were going to get here in like mid-October, but they actually came today. They got overnighted. And this evening we were over at my parents' house to help them set it up and move things over from their old phones to the new phones. And I was explaining things to them, but I was explaining to them things differently. Like, I was explaining to my dad and then explaining to my mom, and Mal was helping me too, and she was explaining to some people. And we had a lot to go over because this is quite a big jump. They didn't have Touch ID. So now they have Touch ID, and they have Force Touch or 3D Touch, whatever, like for the button and then for the screen. There's all this stuff to explain. That we had to move things over. We had to move over the photos because they don't have a computer. They have a laptop, but they don't regularly connect or sync their phones to that. So they have their important stuff in iCloud, but they don't have any other major backups. So we were moving things over. We actually moved their photos over with AirDrop, which is basically just the Bluetooth thing. That was exciting. It took a while. And honestly, we had everything done. And I had told my dad that he was going to lose out on his messages. The messages weren't going to transfer over. Because if you wanted to transfer the messages over, I realized later, I didn't realize at the time, if you wanted to do that, you would probably have to do a full iTunes backup, which they didn't even have. So I was like, you're going to lose your messages, is it a problem? And he was like, no. So in my head, I was like, it's not a problem. Well, we did that. We set everything up for him, and then we erased his old phone. And then I moved everything over from my mom, got her pictures moved over, moved all this stuff. And then on her phone, I was starting to erase her phone, and I was showing her the ropes on the new phone. She opens up messages, and like her messages are all reset. And she goes, Where's my messages? And then it occurred to me quite quickly that I had told my dad. I had not told my mom. And it didn't matter much to my dad, but my mom had like important conversations that she wanted to try and keep, and there was she had back and forth with people. She had messages she hadn't read yet. And I was like, oh no, this is not good. Because at that point, there wasn't any way to recover it. I had just erased the phone. So I calmed her down, and I told her, I said, you could just message people. This is pretty common to say, hey, I got a new phone. I don't have the information that I had before. If I missed something, could you fill me in on the last thing that you sent or something like that. So I think she's okay, but I felt bad because I deleted all of her messages, really, when it comes down to it. And I felt really bad because it was not my intention. And I guess if we would have performed proper backups, we probably could have gotten them to move over. But they don't have any backups, and then also, I completely forgot that was a thing. Whenever I moved from my 5 to the 6S, I just erased all my messages. I didn't have anything pressing that I needed to keep, so it didn't matter. But yeah, I wish I would have asked her. Anyway, that's my story. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm now going to edit this poop-filled video, and hopefully it will come out better than the subject matter. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?